How to face difficulties like a Stoic. Life is a series of diverse experiences, many of which are challenges. We often encounter situations that don't go as planned, losing a job, losing a loved one, or facing difficulties in relationships and careers. When confronted with these situations, we often react in ways that cause us even more harm. But how can we face them without losing our inner peace? Stoic philosophy is a guiding principle that helps us do just that. Developed and refined by great thinkers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, Stoicism encourages us to live with self-discipline, calmness, and understanding. Rather than avoiding hardship, Stoicism teaches us to accept it as a natural part of life, perhaps even as an opportunity to grow. Why Stoic philosophy? Stoic philosophy emphasizes emotional self-control and the ability to remain calm amidst life's storms. Instead of being swept away by negative emotions in the face of adversity, Stoics learn to observe and manage them. This approach is not only a method for coping with stress, but also a way to live a more fulfilled life, free from dependence on things beyond our control. To face difficulties effectively, we first need to change how we perceive them. Stoics believe that hardships are not something to avoid or fear, but are an essential part of life. This perspective helps us accept challenges more easily and gives us the motivation to overcome them. 1. Difficulties are a natural part of life. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes, "Life is not only about good things. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself that you may encounter selfish, ungrateful, and envious people. This is human nature." This statement is not only a reminder that undesired events will always be present, but it also prepares us to face them with calmness. When facing hardship, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a Stoic would think, "This is happening as a natural part of life. What can I do to handle it?" This question helps them proactively respond rather than getting swept away by negative emotions and unproductive thoughts. 2. Challenges are opportunities for growth. An important aspect of Stoic philosophy is viewing hardships as tools for self-improvement. The philosopher Seneca once said, "Nothing great comes without difficulty." To Stoics, challenges are opportunities to develop patience, self-control, and courage. They see obstacles not as barriers, but as exercises that help them grow stronger. For instance, when facing failure at work, instead of feeling discouraged, a Stoic would ask, "What does this failure teach me? What should I change to do better next time?" Seeing hardship as a lesson not only helps them overcome sadness, but also turns it into a source of strength. 3. Free yourself from fear. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that most human suffering does not come from external events, but from how we think about them. Epictetus, a famous Stoic, once said, "It is not the things that happen to you that make you suffer, but how you perceive them." If we change our perspective, we will reduce anxiety and fear when facing difficulties. For example, if you fear losing your job, instead of being haunted by this fear, ask yourself, "If this happens, what will I do to overcome it? What skills can help me find a new job?" This way of thinking shifts you from fear to action, empowering you to take charge rather than passively waiting for outcomes. 3 core Stoic principles anyone can apply to face life's challenges. Principle 1. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus said, "Some things are within our control and some things are not." This philosophy reminds us that most difficulties we encounter, such as others' opinions, the weather, or unexpected life events, are outside our control. The only things we truly control are our actions, thoughts, and reactions. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, "What can I control here?" For instance, in a difficult relationship, instead of trying to change the other person, focus on improving your own communication and reactions. This not only reduces stress, but also creates positive change from your own actions. Principle 2. Let go of expectations. Stoics believe that high expectations often lead to disappointment. When we set high expectations, we risk feeling let down if things don't go as planned, which can result in a sense of loss and sadness. Instead, Stoics learn to lower expectations and focus on the process rather than the outcome. For example, when going for a job interview, instead of worrying about whether you'll be hired, focus on presenting yourself well. This way, you relieve yourself of the pressure tied to the result. Principle 3. Focus on action, not outcome. One core Stoic principle is to focus solely on what you can do. Instead of worrying about results, concentrate on each specific action. When you focus on action, you can control each step and give your best to each task. This approach can be applied to all areas of life. For example, when learning a new skill, rather than expecting to master it immediately, focus on the process of learning, one step at a time. This allows you to feel satisfied with your progress without the pressure of reaching a certain level within a short time. Stoic strategies for facing different types of life's challenges. 1. Facing failure and mistakes. Stoics view failure as an inevitable part of life and a valuable learning opportunity. Seneca once said, "Mistakes are companions to learning." When Stoics fail, instead of blaming themselves, they ask, "What have I learned from this?" They don't let failure diminish their self-confidence, but instead see it as a chance to grow. For example, if you fail at a work project, rather than feeling ashamed, review your process to identify areas for improvement. This way, failure becomes a stepping stone for better performance in the future. 2. Managing stress and anxiety. Stoic philosophy teaches that stress and anxiety stem from our inability to control the future. When anxious, we often focus on things that haven't happened yet or are beyond our control. To combat this, Stoics practice living in the present and concentrating on what can be done right now. For instance, if you're worried about an upcoming important event, instead of dwelling on possible outcomes, focus on preparing thoroughly. After doing your best, let go of expectations and accept the result. 3. Dealing with pain and loss. Pain and loss are inevitable in life, whether it's the passing of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or confronting death. Stoics do not shy away from loss. They see it as a natural part of existence. Epictetus said, "When kissing your child, remind yourself that they are mortal and may not always be with you." This statement reminds us of life's transience. Stoics cherish their connections deeply, but accept that all relationships, no matter how close, may end. When dealing with loss, Stoics focus on appreciating good memories rather than clinging to the past. This doesn't make them emotionless. Rather, it enables them to live fully in the present without letting sorrow consume them. 4. Overcoming betrayal and disappointment from others. Betrayal or disappointment from trusted people is one of life's tougher challenges, whether it comes from friends, family, or colleagues. Instead of blaming others or dwelling in sadness, Stoics accept that no one, including themselves, is perfect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You cannot change the nature of others. You can only change how you react to them." Stoics recognize betrayal and disappointment as natural parts of human relationships. Rather than letting resentment turn them bitter, they choose forgiveness and letting go. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It's about choosing not to let anger and resentment impact their lives. Stoics understand that holding on to grudges only hurts themselves and wastes precious time. They learn to let go and move forward with peace in their hearts. Stoic practices for building resilience in everyday life. 1. Meditation on death, memento mori. Memento mori, or remember that you will die, is a key Stoic practice. Stoics remind themselves that life is short and death is inevitable. Not to be pessimistic, but to appreciate every moment. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Live each day as if it were your last." Practicing memento mori helps us recognize the value of each moment and avoid wasting time on trivial matters. Memento mori reduces anxiety about the future, helping us live fully in the present. When facing challenges, we can ask, if today were my last day, would I want to spend it in fear or sadness? This perspective enables us to face difficulties with calmness and purpose. 2. Journaling. Journaling is one of the most effective Stoic practices. Marcus Aurelius was an avid journaler, reflecting on his actions and drawing lessons from daily life. Journaling not only helps us understand our emotions, but also fine-tunes our thinking. Every evening, take some time to write about the day's events. Reflect on questions like, what did I do well today? Is there anything I could have done better? How did I respond to challenges and negative emotions? Writing down our thoughts and feelings helps us gain insight and develop a resilient mindset. It also allows us to look back at our progress, reminding us that obstacles are manageable. Journaling strengthens our mind, helping us stay calm and balanced through every challenge. 3. Anticipation of adversity, premeditatio malorum. Premeditatio malorum, or anticipating adversity, is a Stoic exercise to mentally prepare for potential difficulties. Instead of panicking when challenges arise, Stoics ready their minds by envisioning possible setbacks. For example, before starting a major project, consider potential problems and ask yourself, if this happens, how will I respond? By preparing in advance, you won't be blindsided by challenges and can face them with composure. Premeditatio malorum isn't about being pessimistic, it's about building resilience. By anticipating difficulties, we can respond proactively instead of reactively when they appear, fostering a strong spirit ready for any challenge. Building resilience with Stoic practices. 1. Focus on meaningful pursuits. Stoics believe life gains true value when we focus on meaningful goals and values. They don't let small annoyances or negative people distract them. Instead, they direct their energy toward greater purposes, like contributing to society, helping others, or self-improvement. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? When you know your purpose and values, you're less likely to be derailed by temporary difficulties and can stay motivated to keep moving forward. 2. Cultivate self-discipline. Stoics emphasize training oneself through habits and discipline. Resilience doesn't come by chance, but through daily practice. Develop self-discipline with small habits, like waking up early, exercising, or dedicating time each day to learn something new. Discipline allows us to face challenges with calmness, as self-training prepares us to see difficulties as part of growth. When we build positive habits, we strengthen both body and mind, making us more resilient against life's adversities. 3. Practice letting go and forgiveness. Stoics value letting go and forgiveness, seeing them as essential steps in building resilience. Letting go doesn't mean being indifferent or shirking responsibility, but accepting and moving beyond things we can't change. Forgiveness frees us from resentment and pain, preventing these emotions from dominating our lives. Epictetus said, "When someone wrongs you, remember they are doing it out of ignorance." Sometimes others' actions are not malicious, but a result of limited understanding. By forgiving and letting go, we free ourselves from the weight of anger, allowing us to focus on personal growth and greater values. Letting go and forgiveness allow us to redirect our energy to personal development and more significant goals. This practice is key to achieving inner peace and living a happier life. Stoic philosophy in modern life, navigating new challenges. 1. Handling work pressure. Today's fast-paced work environment is a major source of stress. Stoics tackle work pressure by focusing on doing their best within their control and letting go of unnecessary expectations. Instead of worrying about others' opinions, they concentrate on self-improvement and personal growth. To apply Stoicism at work, ask yourself, what's most important to me in this job? And what can I improve independently of others? By focusing on what's within your control, you'll feel less pressured and better equipped to handle work challenges. 2. Managing emotions on social media. Social media heavily impacts our emotions today. Stoics recognize that what they see on social media isn't always reality, and they avoid falling into cycles of comparison or inadequacy. Rather than feeling pressured by others' success, they focus on self-betterment. To practice Stoicism online, consider questions like, does this content add real value to my life? And how can I use social media positively? This approach helps shield you from external influences, maintaining a balanced and peaceful mindset. 3. Coping with success, pressure, and expectations. In modern society, many are driven by material success and societal expectations. Stoics, however, learn to let go of these societal pressures, viewing financial success or fame as poor measures of self-worth. Instead, they prioritize living a meaningful and valuable life. Ask yourself, what truly brings me happiness? And can I achieve that without relying on others' approval? This mindset reduces external pressures, allowing you to find joy in internal values, like family relationships, personal growth, and passion. Living strong and tranquil, like a Stoic. Stoic philosophy isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about facing adversity with a resilient and powerful spirit. Through Stoic principles and practices, we learn to control our emotions, master our thoughts, and approach challenges with calmness and strength. In the modern world, where pressures and stress are constant, Stoicism helps us ease anxiety and fear, uncovering peace from within. Every difficulty we encounter, instead of bringing us down, becomes an opportunity for growth and learning. Through the journey of exploring and practicing Stoicism, we not only create a stronger, more sustainable life for ourselves, but also spread positive values to the community around us. The final lesson Stoicism offers is this: life isn't what happens to us, but how we respond and rise above it. Hardships are inevitable, but with a resilient heart and a clear mind, we can turn challenges into fuel for growth and live a life of profound meaning.
If you feel inspired by this story, please hit the like button to support us, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or the Zen stories you want to hear next. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next inspirational and peaceful moments. Your interactions are a source of encouragement for our journey. Thank you for accompanying us on the path of wisdom and enlightenment.